7-0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0. Whose team is this? Honestly speaking, I was perfectly comfortable in a reality where Barca become 2-1 merchants. Remember how when we last won La Liga, we were 1-0 merchants? Yeah, I was perfectly fine with Barcelona being 2-1 merchants. But then 7-0 against the team that Real Madrid struggled to score against for like 50 plus minutes. We didn't even struggle that much. Plus there was a disallowed goal and 3 times that the post was hit, the woodwork, frame of the goal was hit. 7-0. It could have easily been 11, and I'm not even being dramatic or exaggerating. It really could have been. Crazy levels of performances from Lamine Yamal, from Raphinha, from Dani Olmo, from Pedri, from Kubarsi, from Casado as well, got subbed off, and even the substitutions as well. I mean, even Ferran Torres got on the score sheet, and you know this season, Ferran Torres has been like the plague or something to this team. It's been like, you know, not the guy. But even he came on and got a pretty good goal as well. He had another assist from Raphinha. I mean, everything he touched turned to goals today. And wow, what a performance to sign off going into the first international break. And looking at what's going on in the capital and what usually happens, at least over the past year when Barca is doing well and the team from the capital is in the top of the table, we're probably going to see a lot of Negreira case updates coming up in the next few days, you know, between now and Barcelona's next match against Girona, which, man, now that's going to be quite a game to behold, isn't it? Especially with some of the good recruitment that Girona was able to do late in the window. But aside from that, my only worry now is that with this result, Mr. Hansi Flick, you might have just introduced us Barcelona fans to a standard of living that's, I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain this. I mean, the entire, you know, Olympic Stadium was chanting Hansi Flick's name. Towards the end of the game, after the 7th goal, it was just Hansi Flick, Hansi Flick. And the last time that happened, you know, the crowd chanting the manager's name, it was Xavi, and it was them, you know, backing him after the way that he was visibly being treated by the club. So, like, you know, just look at the difference in circumstances there. This was probably the most euphoric performance we've seen from Barcelona in a very, very long time. Like, I have to sit down here and think about exactly when. In terms of levels of performance, that first half, the best we've seen since Barcelona played Napoli at the Olympic Stadium. But you know, this time around, they were able to keep a clean sheet. A clean sheet as well. 7 going the other way. It's just, it all feels so surreal. It's been that level of performance. Like, you know, there's always performances from this team that will make me just throw away that typical match review format where you go, you know, negatives, positives, this, that, you know, and usually when that happens, it's either the team played very, very bad and I just want to rant, or it's a moment like this where you're honestly just at a loss because it's like, wait, this team could perform like this all along. And I mean, when you think about it, yeah, because last season I think Barca was the team that had the highest amount of, you know, big chances created, highest XG as well across Europe, right? Not just like in a league, across Europe. That was Barca. The problem was finishing. And this match in particular, it just looked like that's not the team that struggled with finishing. Raphinha in particular looks more like Neymar, if I'm being honest, than the Raphinha we've been seeing. The confidence that he had with all of those finishes. And then, you know, throw in a nice goal for Joules Kounde, throw in the customary now goal for Lewandowski, and slick goal as well for Dani Olmo. And it's just, like I said, even Ferran Torres scored, guys. honestly speaking, a nice way to sign off for the international break. Now, we just have the anxiety of whether or not our players can avoid injuries to keep us up at night, which, yeah. Anywho, aside from that, there's really not much else to say. Brilliant stuff from Barca. Like, Lamine Yamal keeping up his streak of goal involvements going, which, he's 17. And you forget that once you start watching. You know what I mean? You forget that. Just a reminder, he's 17. That's honestly all that I have. It's difficult, like I said, to make a match review when you're on this much of a high. So I'll just leave on that. Thanks for tuning in.